Superman!
One glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away.
All this just for money!
Some of us have bills to pay, you know.
Yeah, and some of us have an honest job. Maybe you should try that.
Maybe some of us have. Maybe even two just to make ends meet, and yet somehow still feel trapped by socioeconomic constraints that won't allow us to move forward no matter how much we work every goddamn day.
Yep, well, maybe you have a point.
Family, welcome to Irvington Unbound, the official newsletter of the Sheridanstba Block Association. I'm your host, district leader, and the official elected official, Jay. As always, I'm praying you and yours are happy, healthy, and prosperous. Let's say we slip on out of these formalities, though. Let's get into some news. The legalization vote has been delayed. Imagine the shock. I don't think the votes were as secure as Sweeney let on, so they said they'll try to have a vote near the end of the year. But let's not see this as particularly a bad thing. We have more time to work locally to get the most out of the social equity measures before launch. Speaking of taking off, Canada legalized recently, and they are doing numbers with their online store, making a reported $700,000 in a single day, and facilities running out of product. In Block news, the empty house issue is still ongoing. As any Irvingtonian will tell you, it takes multiple requests. We're technically on the second, so patience, fam. We got this. In local stuff, the directors' meeting featured more tax complaints, speeding and parking on the sidewalk, issues with the street cleaners, trash, debris, vacants. Mayor Voss's assistant announced suspensions for absent directors, and some friction was caused due to the award that the council gave the mayor and Director Bowers for the report of the township being in the top 20 of American municipalities in regards to crime reduction, which, is easier when you institute a virtual police state. In the breast cancer video, I said I would save a little local info for this episode of Unbound, and well, here we are. The reason the municipality has an overabundance of vacant properties is partially because of a state program that allows the paperwork of these properties to be sold at auction, with the purchaser, often private equity firms and LLCs, being tasked with coordinating with the previous owner. If they do something with the property or not, the purchaser gets an 18% return on the cash they kicked in. All properties aren't tied up in this, but a good amount are, and my fellow electeds' hands are tied due to the state program. Speaking of the state, there's a question on the ballot that asks if the state can go $500 million in more debt to pay for the governor's tech education program. Honest opinion, we really need to cut spending as is. You can read into that all you like. Governor Murphy has been out in Israel, reportedly securing tech deals, while the Brennan-Alvarez scandal persists here in state. New York Post dropped the cover that said state Dems were shunning Senator Menendez, and instantaneously, all of our elected class, namely my elected counterparts here in Essex County, threw their arms around him and espoused their undying love for the man. Politics is a team sport, family, and this segue is an alley-oop to the midterms and national news. Early voting has begun, and it's super tight with a lot of red team enthusiasm due to many factors, including the Kavanaugh backlash, blue team having a socialist tint, perceptions that the blue team doesn't believe in borders, and the strength of the current economy. There is an invasion of thousands of Central American men making their way to the U.S. southern border, and no one trusts the D side to take care of it because they're too compassionate and happily give away the goodies. This is what the media likes to call an October surprise. Another such occurrence is the news of explosive devices being sent to prominent Blue Squad personalities such as HRC and George Soros. Saudi Arabia admitted that journalist Jamal Khashoggi had been murdered, with Prince Salman's regime being implicated in the crime, which the prince himself described as heinous. Pressure is on President Trump to check the crown, but there's a complication. Saudi Arabia is flooded with cash, and well, our president loves money. We'll see how this plays out. President Trump is like Scrooge McDuck, and I doubt anyone thinks a dead reporter will stop him from making the lucrative deal. Well, family, that's about it. Thank you so much for putting up with me. Please, do all the internet stuff. Like, sub, share, speak. This is the last episode until the midterms. Who do you like to win? Think there's going to be a blue wave or a red tsunami? I'd love your opinion down below, and until the next video, love.
Alright, listen up, people, because this is probably the only time I'll ever say this. Ever. I am not happy that I kind of planned how to hurt each and every one of you in case you ever pissed me off. I mean, went evil. And that those very well justified plans then got stolen and used on you.
Was that an apology?
Call it what you want. You may not see it, but the Justice League is dangerous. So kick me out or not, either way, I will always have a plan.
We're, not actually kicking him out, right?
Are you kidding? He's the one who pays for all this shit.
It's suicide! You've seen him eat a house